I'm completely innocent.
I just feel like, I was violated,
As of right now, I don't think I really decided who's right.
And then I saw it was a toy car. I was like, this seems really familiar.
So I'm Matt. I'm your average guy. I mean, I don't do much. I do some content freelancing. Right now I'm with this project, ADVEDIA. As you know, the D in ADVEDIA is Dapper. It's a great channel. I have no passion for it though. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I want to keep my personal life kind of private. Don't want to get into that too much. But yeah, you should check out the Dapper Show. If you don't know what it stands for, you're not a real fan.
So how did all this kind of transpire? What happened?
Well, I'm sure Vic already told you how evil I am.
I put time, effort, and energy into my content, and it was mine. It was mine, and I worked hard on it, and I understand that this is a hustle. This is it's a grind. We're all out here. We're trying to make our way. But when you have to resort to thievery, that even just that word, that it was thievery. Like, let's not sugarcoat this. Like, he stole from me. Like, he is a thief. It was a betrayal. It was a theft trail, if you will. It was bullshit. I mean, he just thinks he can come in here and take whatever the hell he wants. Like, it's ridiculous here that he thinks he has that kind of entitlement. I mean, I think anybody who has any kind of sense of morality would be on my side here. I mean, I would love to see what everyone else has to say. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. He's a thieverous. He raped me, pretty much. This is rape. I mean, and you know what? I've put some pieces together. I've put the puzzle back together, and I realized something. I think Tom is in on this just as much as Matt is, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
Before you guys start recording, before we actually start the interview, I just want to put it out there. Like, I'm just the editor, just so you guys know. I'm just the editor. I'm not super involved in the day-to-day of this content. So, and I just wanted you guys to know that for your basis, so that you know how to ask the right questions. And that's it. We can get on with the interview now, just before anything, off the record. That's it. That's what I want to do now. All right. Great. I'm Tom. I own the Average Life of Losers channel. I'm the one that primarily posts content to the Average Life of Losers channel. I have been actually creating the majority of the content for ADVEDIA this month. And I post that. I have outsourced some videos to Matt, such is the case with the video that is, that we're talking about today, and that's been in the news and whatnot now. But being honest, the only thing I contributed to that video was I edited it, and I added the music, which, if I'm being completely honest, is amazing. And the video isn't really anything without it, in my opinion. I don't remember the content of the video too well, but I know the music like the back of my hand, and I'd sing it for you, but I don't. I'm a little shy. But regardless, it's one of my favorite songs at this point, mostly because I added it to the video, and if I'm being honest, it is on my film reel. That's out there, as I apply to jobs in the film industry. That is the majority of it, is that song. I don't include the video because it's not that good. And I really didn't even understand the controversy, and I didn't really even recognize that it could potentially be plagiarism until I read Sean's comment.
My name is Sean, YouTube commenter turned professional whistleblower. I'm the one who left the original comment drawing the parallels between the two videos. I spend a lot of time thinking about ADVEDIA and ADVEDIA videos in April. Sometimes, a couple months ago, I was just going through everyone's old videos for some reason, because it's just my favorite pastime. Just watching videos over and over again, because these are my two favorite channels in the world. That's why I leave comments on every video. I make sure to like and subscribe. So I watched Vic's old video probably like a month ago, and I was like, wow, this video is great. The car, you know, driving around the room. And then I was like, oh, Tom posted a new video. And I saw that it was actually Matt doing the video. And then I saw it was a toy car. I was like, this seems really familiar. Like, I've seen this before. And then he just kept going like that the entire video, where he's just driving this little toy car around. And I was like, wow, this is the exact same content, but like, not because it had like the Average Life of Losers flair on it, and it was for ADVEDIA. But like, I just had to, you know, say my piece, just bring it up, just say, yo, this is Vic's content. And the last thing I want are for these channels to be in the fight against each other, because all I do is watch their content every day.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but all I asked was how your day was going. Let's talk about the content. Your opinion on his content.
Well, my opinion is that it's a fact that it's garbage, because, you know, if you just compare it, I mean, you've got him, he's got a car. Who else had a Matchbox car? I did in my content. You know, what does he do with it? He drives it around. I drove mine around first. You know, he goes on the walls on furniture. I went on walls on furniture, and it's everything he does. It's a half-assed copy. It's ridiculously poor quality because he's going off of better material, and it's ridiculous.
So the idea came to me more or less in a fever dream. I mean, I'm on the scene right now. It was just a place of passion. The car itself, the subject of the car, was all because of the Dapper show. I mean, I dug through my Hot Wheels, you know, picked out my favorite one. Sure enough, luckily enough, it looks exactly like the 2001 Honda Civic that we used on the show. So I was like, it's perfect. Like, absolutely has to be used. I have like Lamborghinis, and I have like, you know, Hummers and other crap that like I always used to pick to play with, but for some reason I always had this car also, just my number one pick. You know, whenever we were distributing the cars to play on the car rug that we always had, or I'm sure everybody had. Not the Dapper show's not the Dapper show without the car. So we have to start with that. And it's all about the road. It's all about the car, the open road. Of course, what better place to start than what looks like the open road? Obviously, a wooden road, not, you know, low budget. Anyway, a little bit of transition. The sheriff's badge actually was unintentional both times. But I figured I had to stand anyway. I was gonna redo a whole take that was so perfect just because I hit that badge. Now the map obviously was the centerpiece of the video. Well, the centerpiece of the first leg of the video, because of course we're going all around the world on this show. I mean, you've seen the places we've been. We've been to New Jersey, and then after that we go off the wall, because of course, you know, can't just do a whole video in one room. It's just not gonna work, right? You have to really explore your boundaries. So that was just more of a transition shot. Going onto the closet door just to get some off-road terrain, you know, make it a little bit more exciting.
So if I really try to remember the content of the video, I know he walks around his bedroom for a while with the toy car, and he just kind of like bangs it into random stuff for a while, and I know he brings it over a map, which I thought was actually, you know, he actually did think about it maybe a little bit, because it makes sense in the context of the Dapper show. But after, I mean, the next thing he does is he just lets it very, very slowly descend down the stairs. I don't think he could physically process walking down the stairs and keeping something in focus. I think that was the main issue there. And it shows, to say the least.
Okay, so now arguably the longest part of the video, but this truly was the centerpiece, the main focus besides the close. I mean, the sheer difficulty in perfecting this scene was, I mean, I was actually sweating like when I was doing it, like the walking down the stairs with the camera and having the car float so perfectly in the center of the frame. Sorry. I just get a little welled up thinking about it. I mean, you know, just the speed to really bring it home, because if you go too fast, you're just ruining it. It's going to be too bumpy. If you go too slow, I mean, you're kind of defeating the we got to move on. It's too emotional for me.
And yeah, and that one scene that was fucking retarded. I mean, you know for a fact that he gets up there and he's like, I didn't think this through. Let me tell you, I put 5 hours of prep work into my video in order to make sure I had every single second of that video accurately set up to make that as entertaining as possible. You know, this retard just shows up. He's like, where do I put my card now? Because he's a fucking idiot. He's a goddamn moron. And he's just going to have the car floating there. Like, no one knows if 30 seconds goes by, right? While I try to open his door or move to the next seat. Okay. He doesn't, I don't even know if he has a brain. And that's why he didn't realize that, thievery is wrong. It's an idiot.
I knew after the stair moment, and a little bit later in the video when he's just opening a bathroom door, I had to save the video. This was not content that I would be happy or content with in any way, shape, or form putting out there if it did not have some kind of music. And it took a good 4 to 5 hours to find that music, and when I did, the video went from, I would say, a 3 out of 10 to about a 27 out of fucking 10, dude. That music probably, I think it saved my life that day. Adding it to the video probably made me happier than I've been in years. And I honestly can't imagine a world where that music is not on that video. And I can't imagine my life without that music at this point. The music is the single best part of that video. Period. Hands down.
Now, my stage crew wasn't there to assist me with the door, but it kind of adds to the beauty of it. And as we emerged outside, launched ourselves down the ramp and revealed ADVEDIA 2020.
He ended up giving me 4 clips. 2 were filmed in portrait mode, and I said, you have to refilm them because they need to be landscape, like any normal person. Film in landscape. And when he did, he redid them. Those were the clips that you saw. There were 2 of them. I had to edit it together. It's not hard to tell. I just did like a dissolve from one to the other. When it cuts to white, it dissolves back into the car going down the ramp. The car going down the ramp is pretty. Honestly, I probably could have cut the video down to that. If you want to point fingers, you can blame me at that point if you really think it was thievery. But I just needed it to say ADVEDIA 2020, and it did, and that is pretty much why I posted the video. If it didn't have that, none of it would have made it, if I'm being honest.
I know a big point that a lot of people were harping on was that the only similarity was that it was just a toy car. That was the main focus of the video. But if you look deeper, if you look closer into it, and you can tell by the trajectory the cars were taking and the angles they were making and the grinds they were doing. At this one point in the video, it does like the specific 27-degree angle right off this little grind. It is the exact same thing in Vic's video, and you could just tell by the way the car was rotating at every time, the struggle on the doors in both videos. It was just once you saw that little detail, everything became unraveled with how similar they were.
And then, the dumbest part is you've got this change in the end of the video to ADVEDIA. What the fuck? You know what? Fuck ADVEDIA. I'm done with this interview. The whole thing's stupid.
Looking at Vic's reaction afterwards was honestly kind of scary. I could definitely see some of the similarities between the 2 videos, but as of right now, I don't think I really decided who's right. I'm just the editor, after all. I didn't edit with the knowledge of Vic's video, and I didn't edit with the intention to rip anyone's content off. But at the end of the day, the way I think about it.
But you posted the content to your channel.
So it's not. I can't be held responsible for every piece of content that I post on my channel. Right now we're in ADVEDIA. It is cutthroat, and if I don't post content every day, I'll have a lot more issues than an upset YouTuber. I'm required to post content every single day this month. Nobody ever said that it had to be new.
I mean, you really have to look at it and break it down to step by step, because what was the center point of Vic's video? It wasn't, the transgression of the card and Dapper and like the show really being what it's all about, showing what it's all about, right? The center of his video was an unboxing, and then he decided to be a child and driving on the wall just for the sake of driving it on the wall. We weren't driving it on the wall. I wasn't driving it on the wall for, the purpose of driving it on the wall. I was driving it on the wall because I had to do work with what I had, you know, and I put passion into it. It wasn't just driving on the wall to drive on the wall. Like I said, you know, the map to signify and symbolize our travels across the world, and the show really going beyond leaps and bounds. I mean, it was so much more than what he thinks I stole. I mean, and if we're being 100% honest, I had not seen that video. No one's gonna believe me because it's like, you know, what proof do I have? But I had not seen that video until after I had made mine. But, you know, I mean, if you really look at all the facts and break it down piece by piece, I'm completely innocent.
I know the general consensus around ADVEDIA is that it's not the best, but personally, I've still been I've been enjoying it. I'd say I've been enjoying it. But kind of hard now, since after making that comment years ago, back when I didn't even have a beard yet, back then, everything's changed now. All my favorite channels are in a feud. They're fighting over just content. And now I keep getting offers from private investigators and news sources to just look into YouTube content fraud and just overall just police the internet better and make sure that content creators are being original with their work. So to be honest, I haven't even been keeping up with this anymore. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on. That's kind of sad, you know. I used to be so involved with these channels. I used to be the #1 commenter all the time. But now there's new people every video saying, great video, keep it up, and you deserve more subscribers. And yet now I'm just living my life the best way I can now. And honestly, you know, it's sad looking back at what I had, but looking forward, now that I get to spend all day in my bed, I think it's worth it.
Could you give me a second? I'm gonna mute myself. Oh yeah, I'm actually doing an interview for you right now. They think I'm completely innocent. Fucking idiots. I totally stole it.